What's up, class? It's Mr. Andrews coming to you live from the Thunderdome from my living room. And just wanted to touch base with you guys. Hope you're well. Hope you're safe and healthy. But we are moving now to a point where we are gathering research, and hopefully you're working on that synthesis matrix, that research organizer chart that I was talking about last class. If you haven't seen it yet and you haven't gone back to Tuesday's class, make sure that you look at that, watch the video on the synthesis matrix, because that's what you're going to be working on between now and next week on, it's due, remember, on the 20th. So make sure that you're working on that for next week. You're expected to have 10 different sources. Some of those could be the background research that you've already done. That's great. But make sure that you're filling in that chart, okay? If you haven't done that, make sure to check out that video. Reach out to me if you have questions. But in the midst of that, now you're starting to connect the dots between some of the research sources, and now maybe you're starting to think, okay, I have this research question and this topic that I've been writing about or researching about. Maybe it's now time to start thinking about, what am I ultimately going to try to say or argue in this paper? That's your thesis. That your thesis is ultimately your answer to the question that you asked in the first place. So how are we going to answer that question? Well, we want to avoid a simple answer, right? Because what's the point of doing a whole research project, right, for 6 weeks if we're just going to give a simple answer to a simple question, right? Something we could Google real quick. So hopefully you have a slam bang question that we worked out and that I approved, right? Which means now it's time to get into having a slam bang answer. So let's take a look at what are some of our options, right? So first off, I'm going to move myself. What does an effective thesis look like? So first off, state your specific position, right? Your thesis should look like stating your position. It should make clear what you're trying to argue or say overall with the paper. It should give us a sense of your overall position. I think you guys know that. But I want to emphasize that word specific, because you know that a thesis tells us what you're arguing, but you really need to be specific, that you're not just saying, okay, climate change is affecting people, but how and in what ways. It should be as specific as possible. So for instance, if you were making a paper about marijuana being legalized, which I am not going to allow you guys to do, as you know.
What?
It's such a standard and boring paper at this point. Marijuana, if we were to make this argument, should be legalized for both recreational and medical use. That's more specific than just saying it should be legalized, right? In what ways should it be legalized? Your thesis should give us a specific sense of what your specific position or answer is. The other thing is you want to think about integrating your reasons into it. So as you're doing the research, what are some of the patterns you're seeing on your synthesis matrix? What are some of the common themes and trends you're starting to notice in the research? Maybe that can offer up some support for what your answer is going to be to your question. So one of the things that you could offer up in your thesis then is some reasoning for your position. This example says, we're adding that in because it presents fewer risks than other legal alternatives. Marijuana should be legalized for both recreational and medical use by adults. So this offers an even more specific position, because now it's beginning to make an argument, right? It's not just telling us your specific position. It's also telling us some of your main and specific reasons. So another thing to look at then is that any important or exceptions or limits ought to be considered in your thesis as well. You don't want to overcommit. If you overcommit or you overstate, you can end up creating a real problem. Right? A real problem. If you were to over commit to something you're just in over your head with. So note any important or exceptions or limits. So here's a good example. Because it presents fewer risks than other legal alternatives, marijuana should be legalized for both recreational and medical use by adults. So note that that's an exception or a limit, right? We're being more specific now by qualifying what we're arguing. Qualify simply means putting a limit on something. So I'm going to argue that it should be legalized, but for adults, right? That if that's the argument that you're making, you want to make sure that you're limiting that argument, because it could be read as, are you legalizing for everyone? What's going on there, right? And repeat that process as necessary to evolve your thesis. So there's really 6 steps you can take to evolve your thesis as necessary. The first step is to formulate a working thesis. That's where we're at today. Step number one, okay? And that's what I want you to type in, by the way, for today's class. There's no password. To get your participation points, I want you to type in a working thesis. Look back at your question. What did you propose in your research proposal?
What?
What topic are you researching?
What?
What would you say at this point might be the best answer you could offer?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
The best answer to that question you developed, okay? This should be some claim about the meaning of your evidence that's good enough to get you started. So it should be based on the evidence you've been seeing so far. Then what I want you to do is see how far you can make that thesis go in accounting for the evidence. In other words, use your thesis to explain your evidence as it reasonably can and try it on, right? But then what I want you to do next, after looking at that working thesis today, after typing that in and sending it to me, I want you to go back to the research and ask and start looking through, is there evidence that isn't accounted for in that thesis? In other words, is there evidence that challenges or offers a contrary point of view to what you are arguing? Is there a new exception or an alternative that you need to consider? In other words, I want you to find actual evidence out there that might challenge what your working thesis says so you can start making adjustments. So you'll need to look actively, right? It can be really easy to ignore evidence that doesn't fit or ideas or arguments that are contrary to what we think we want to say. But I want you to seek that out because that's going to actually make your paper stronger. So the other thing I want you to do is make explicit the apparent mismatch between thesis and selected evidence. In other words, explain how and why some pieces don't fit your thesis. Think about like, why is it if I'm arguing this, does the research show that? Then I want you to reshape your claim to accommodate the evidence that doesn't fit. So this might be rewording your thesis to resolve or explain apparent contradictions. So again, let's say that I want to write about the whole thing involving marijuana, right? Let's say that this is the working thesis I come up with. But then I come across research that shows that it can actually cause psychosis.
What?
When taken by certain kinds of adults with certain psychological conditions. So that's a problem, right? Because that presents a real risk to what I'm trying to argue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
So what do I do? Well, maybe one move I'm going to do to evolve it, right, in this last step, is I'm going to reshape my claim now to accommodate for that. So then I might add something to my thesis, right? Like, except for in the cases of people who are susceptible to mental illness, right? Or perhaps certain mental illnesses, people who have certain conditions shouldn't be treated with this, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
So maybe that's something I need to integrate into the paper. Maybe that's a new limit I need to think about, right? But it came out because I sought out complicating evidence. I'm seeing more detail in that topic than I would have seen before. And then repeat that process as necessary. Keep going back to the research, looking for, okay, what about this? What about that, right? Could it be used for this? Could it be used for that? Are there more exceptions that I need to consider? Are there other areas that I'm going to make the argument that this should be legalized for? Or are there other areas that I need to really consider as exceptions to that, right? So here's an example evolution, right? Let's say that I want to write about this book called Educating Rita. Okay, you don't have to know what the book's about. You just have to know there's a book called Educating Rita. And my argument is I want to write about this book and I'll make the argument that it celebrates the liberating potential of education. Well, here's the thing. I come across some complicating evidence, right? Because in the book, there's this character named Frank. And Frank has problems that are caused by education, which tells me that, hey, there's actually an issue here because if I want to make this argument that the book is celebrating education and yet you have a character who is just messed over by education, what does that say, right? Wah, wah, we've come into a problem. But maybe I just need to revise my thesis. Maybe I need to adjust my position, right? Educating Rita celebrates the liberating potential of enabling in contrast to stifling education. So note that now I'm seeing that, okay, this book actually does celebrate the potential of education, but specifically a kind of education that helps students, not the kind that gets in their way, right? Because there is education in the book that hurts people. But then I keep going back to the evidence, right? And I notice that Frank's stifling education is associated with a smug, stale elite. Rita's enabling education corresponds with lower class energy and doses of real life. So I continue to revise and I continue to go back. And this is the pattern I want you to do. And you'll note that we go from the simple working thesis, which is what we're starting with today, but then you keep going back to the evidence and going, okay, what do I need to adjust for? Keep going back to the evidence. What do I need to adjust for? Keep going back, adjusting every time until you come up with something that's really informed and really specific. And this is what I'm going to ask you to continue to do as we work on our outlines, okay? And we're going to get into the outline eventually, but for now, let's just focus on getting this piece done, working thesis, and continuing to do the research with our synthesis matrix, okay? So those are the two pieces you have for you today, okay? I want you to first state your specific position, okay? Second, try to integrate some of the main reasons or the main reason for your position into that sentence. And then third, I want you to note any exceptions or limits to your argument in your working thesis. So these are the three things I want you to do today, right now. Type that thesis in, try it on, try it out, noting that it's a working thesis and it will need to be fixed. So once you've typed that in, congratulations, you've done your work for today. The other thing to note is that by next class on the 20th, I'm expecting you guys to have your synthesis matrix turned in, okay? Note that it is worth 20 points, so that sucker is worth a lot of points. You do not want to miss out on them. So if you're stuck, if you're struggling to find research, reach out to me. Let me know, okay? We can conference, we can meet up. It's not a problem at all, guys. But I wish you well, and good luck on the research, okay? Repeat that process as necessary. See ya.